Welcome to Armstrong High School. A beautiful afternoon for Section 6 3A baseball. A third-round game between the number 6 seed, the Hopkins Royals, and the number 2 seed and defending champion Armstrong Falcons. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox. Hopkins with 2 wins in the section so far. After beating Minneapolis South 9-2, they then knocked off the 3rd seed Edina 3-2 in the second round. Armstrong has had 1 section game, and it was a tough one. They beat 10th seed Richfield 1-0. Here's the lineup for Pat Berger and the Royals as they get set to bat in the first inning. Leading it off will be John Cook, the center fielder, then Aaron Jensen in right, Tommy Gleason at second base, Robbie Palkert, the pitcher, hits third, and as hitting fourth, Alex Schwartz hitting fifth at third base, Henry Broad at shortstop, Kyle Davis at first base, Nathan Nelson in left, and Max Wiesner, the catcher for the Royals. And the defensive alignment for Armstrong, you've got Matt Bachmeyer at third base, Ricky Reed at short, Jell Hokinson at second base, and Jack McDonough at first base. In the outfield, Corey Gilbert, Jack Wibben, and Troy Ouellette. John Nelson is the catcher. And doing the pitching is left-hander Jordan Kuznia. We are going to see really 2 of the best pitchers in the area going head-to-head today as Palkert and Kuznia battle. You see Jordan's had a superb year, 6-1, 1.11. He pitched that game against Richfield in which they won it 1-0. So extra day of rest because of a rain out, maybe making him a more sure choice here to be available for this one. So John Cook will step in to lead it off here for Hopkins. Teams played during the year once, with Armstrong winning 5-3. And Kuznia shoots it over for a strike. Cook hitting at .320 this year. Has 4 doubles, a triple, a home run. He's driven in 10, scored a team high 14, which you might expect or hope for from your leadoff guy. Kuznia shoots another strike. And drives this one out to right center field. It's going to be down for a hit. Cook takes a turn, but he will hang on there as they had him played around toward right a little bit, and Ouellette had to run that one down and did so before it could get by. Did have a lot of rain over the weekend, and of course a lot of rain on Tuesday as well, so the ball probably going to die out there a little bit in the grass. They did a nice job getting this field ready after all that rain. So leadoff man aboard, Aaron Jensen now the hitter for Hopkins. He looks at a first pitch strike as Kuznia got quickly ahead of Cook, but then came right at him with 2 strikes, and Cook delivered a single. Jensen hitting at .400 this year. He has 8 runs batted in. Kuznia is going to flip to first. And again, Jordan Kuznia will fire over to first base. Coming plate this time, and a great bunt drop down. Nelson's going to have one play. He'll go to first. He almost stumbled a little bit, but he does get the out at first base. Sacrifice is successful for Jensen as Cook moves up. Boy, he really did a nice job deadening this ball. It dies right on the edge of the grass, and Nelson looked like he almost lost his footing a little bit as he threw, but he still got it on target, and they get the out at first. So well executed really by both sides there. Nice bunt, but handled well by the Falcons, and ultimately he got the job done getting Cook up to second base into scoring position. Tommy Gleason stepping in now for Hopkins, a .328 average for him this year. 12 runs scored, 10 runs batted in, and kind of a quirky number here. He's been hit by 7 pitches this year, so have to believe that he's willing to take one if it comes at him. Fouling that fastball away. I think all parties concerned glad that this one was being played today. Sunny and temperatures in the 80s as compared to on the day it was scheduled for on Tuesday. Raining an awful lot and not all that warm. Breaking ball there, fouled by Gleason. So 1-2 count to the number 3 hitter in the Hopkins order as they try and strike early here. Runner on second, 1 out, top of the first. And a late swing at a high fastball, and Gleason down on strikes. Another look as Kuznia getting ahead in the count and then throwing the high heat right up around the letters. And he was late on that swing. So Robbie Palkert will be the hitter now for Hopkins. He's hitting .276 this year. Does have 10 runs batted in, 3 doubles, couple of home runs. So definitely can has some pop. Starts him with a breaking ball for a strike. And the 0-1 delivery, did he swing? I believe he did, yes. The ball does get away. Cook taking a look there. And ball eventually was picked up by the on-deck hitter, it looked like. Going to be some discussion here about what our call is going to be. You see the ball get away. It was a swinging strike. Nelson has a little trouble finding it. Runner advances second to third, and then Cook rounding, and it looked as though ultimately it was picked up by the on-deck hitter. So look at Pat Berger, the Royals head coach, and feeling good about about his team's possibilities. But we were talking, there's a lot of teams in the section that are relatively evenly matched. I mean, we saw a lot of. You look at some of the games in that first round, or the second round especially. Palkert popping it up, a sky-high fly ball to short center. And calling in, making the play out in center field is Wibben. So Palkert is done, and the Royals are out in the first. They do threaten, but don't score. No runs, 1 base hit, no errors, and 1 runner left stranded over at third. So after half an inning here from Armstrong High School, it is 0-0, and the Falcons will send up this batting lineup as they try and get on the board against Palkert. Corey Gilbert, the left fielder, leads it off. Troy Ouellette in right field hits second. And the DH, Josh Thorpe. Matt Bachmeyer, the third baseman, is the cleanup guy. Kuznia, the pitcher, hits fifth. Jack Wibben, the center fielder, hits sixth. Jack McDonough at first base hits seventh. Ricky Reed at short hitting eighth. And John Nelson, the catcher, is the number 9 hitter. And defensively for Hopkins, got Alex Schwartz as the third base, Brought at short, Gleason at second, Davis at first, Nelson, Cook, and Jensen in the outfield, Wiesner behind the plate. And doing the pitching for the Royals is Nebraska recruit Robbie Palkert. 3-3 record this year, 2.63 earned run average, and 42 2/3. He's allowed 32 hits, walked 13, and fanned 50. I think both teams figuring runs might be a little bit at a premium. And we're talking about, the close scores in some of these games. I mean, we had the other day, we had number 1 seed Wayzata taking on Cooper. And that turned out to be a 1-run ball game at 3-2. And Cooper was the 8th seed. And, we saw Armstrong, the number 2 seed. There's Brian Sobiek, the Falcons head coach. We saw the 2-seed Armstrong having to really battle to get a 1-0 win over Richfield. We saw a 3-2 game between this Hopkins team and the 3rd seed Edina. The only one that wasn't close in that round was Orono, who pulled off a big shocker by beating St. Louis Park in the first round. They only had 1 win coming in, and they kind of got handled by Minneapolis Southwest. Pitch taken for a ball here as Gilbert stepping in to lead things off for the Falcons. Hitting at .371 this season, squares and takes a strike. Gilbert has 3 doubles to his credit, scored 11 runs. That one's up a little bit high, 2-1. Both teams kind of the same. I mean, a nice record, but not over the top, especially for Hopkins. But they're obviously playing, both of these teams are playing some pretty good competition throughout the year. And it's really all about getting yourself ready for this time. I mean, yes, it'd be nice to be a conference champ or to have a sparkling record, but they want to be, they know this is when it really matters. Gilbert lining one to center, but it's going to hang up, and the catch made by Cook. Made some good, solid contact with that one. Drove it on a line to center. But Cook read it well and makes the catch. So Troy Ouellette will step in now for Armstrong. Troy hitting at .327. He's scored 14 runs. He's knocked in 13. He has 3 doubles and 3 home runs. High chopper right off the plate. Palkard's going to have a tough play, and he makes it. Got a good break off the mound. It isn't something you normally think about. You know, do you get a good break as a defender when you're pitching? But he really did, and ended up getting him rather easily, although it was not that easy a play. It went right off the front of the plate and up in the air. So Josh Thorpe will step in now for Armstrong. Palkard starts him with a fastball for a strike. Thorpe hitting .364 this season. Also has some pop, couple of doubles, 3 homers, 12 runs batted in, 12 runs scored. And there's a breaking ball for a strike. Palkard and Kuznia both looking pretty sharp early on here, although Kuznia did give up a leadoff hit, and Gilbert did hit the ball pretty well against Palkard as a leadoff guy. This one lifted a little flare down the left field line and just foul. Didn't really hit it very hard, but it was definitely in a spot where nobody was going to catch it. The only question is whether it would stay fair or not, and obviously it does not. Talking with Armstrong coach Brian Sobiak about, you know, seeing Palkard today, and he said, you know, to be honest, we tend to hit a little bit better. There's a swing and a miss, and Thorpe down the strike. I'm going to say they hit a little bit better against guys with some velocity, but not everybody's as good as this guy, Palkard, too. He has a 1-2-3 first. We've played one full here in the Section 6 tournament. It is 0-0 here between Hopkins and Armstrong.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Nice crowd on hand here at Armstrong, enjoying some sunshine. I think you could certainly make a case that this has been the nicest day of the spring so far, as the Royals and Falcons try and advance here in the Section 6 tournament. We are into the double elimination phase, so both teams will still be alive regardless of the outcome here, but certainly your road becomes much tougher if you fall into the losers bracket fairly early on like this. Alex Schwartz stepping in to lead off the top of the second here for Hopkins against Jordan Kuznia. Lifts that one back foul and out of play. Schwartz hitting at .213 on the year, but he has scored 9 runs and driven in 6. Breaking ball got away from Kuznia a bit there. High with that fastball. And high and away with that one. So 3-1 count here. Schwartz trying to get on any way he can here to start the second for the Royals. And pop back foul and out of play. And with a little longer portion of this tournament at home sites than what they had done in the past. There's a hard one hopper, and Reed unable to come up with it, so Schwartz will be on to start the second on an error. Hard one hopper, Reed kind of pulling back on that ball a little bit. It was not an easy play, but I think you have to Go with that as an error there. So Henry Brott will be the hitter for Hopkins. Last time they sacrificed after getting the leadoff guy on. We'll see if they'll be looking the same thing this time. 261 average for Henry. Kuznia will flip to first. Hasn't had all that many at-bats compared to some of their guys. He's had 23 official at-bats, 3 runs batted in, 5 runs scored. Squaring, but pops it back foul and out of play. Kuznia wants a different baseball here. Again, bunting. He bunts a very high pitch. Kuznia, diving catch, throw to first, and a double play. Fantastic catch by Kuznia. Really left Schwartz in no man's land as the runner there. Brott bunting at a pitch above his head, and it looked like it might work out for him, but Kuznia makes a great diving catch and then comes up throwing, and no chance to get back for Schwartz on that one. He's caught in a tough spot there, so great play. 2 outs now. Kyle Davis will be the hitter. Davis fouling it back. Boy, if Kuznia is a righty instead of a lefty, I'd kind of doubt that he's going to be able to make that play. He would have had to backhand or reach across his body with the glove. Well, he did a great job to get to that one. Talked about Palkert coming off the mound nicely to field that high chopper. Kuznia does him one better with a diving catch on the bunt. Davis hitting at .214 this year for the Royals. Just gets a piece of that one to hang in. Couple of runs batted in, couple of runs scored for Davis. Again, he, like Brott, has not, had the number of at-bats as some of their top guys that have been in the lineup every day. Pitch up and out of the zone there from Kuznia on the fastball, 1-2. Comes with the breaking ball there and just misses as Davis is able to lay off a 2-2 count here. And couldn't get him to chase that high fastball, so now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Give Davis some credit here for fighting back, hanging in there, taking some tough pitches. And there's ball 4. Kuznia issuing his first walk. And so a 2-out base runner for Hopkins, and Nathan Nelson will be the hitter. Nelson hitting .281 this year. 3 doubles. He's driven in 4 and has scored 11 times himself. Kuznia flipping to first. Tough guy to get a good lead on. He's very conscious of base runners over there. Fouled out of play on the first pitch there. Kuznia does have a little bit of a high leg kick out of the stretch, so good for them defensively that he is a tough guy to get a good lead on, because he does come to the plate, with a little bit of a kick. Breaking ball floating in up high, a ball and a strike here to Nelson. Wiesner on deck, hoping for an opportunity here in this second inning. It's no score on the board. Hopkins a runner with 2 outs. And hit fairly well out to center field, but playable. And the catch made there by Wibben, so Nelson flies to center to end the second. And the Royals are done. No runs, no hits. There was 1 Armstrong error and 1 left aboard. We'll go to the bottom of the second here in Section 6 baseball on 12 Sports. No score between Hopkins and Armstrong.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Oh dear, I can't afford that.
Charge it. You can pay it off later.
Not so fast, credit card guy.
Savings Man.
Don't let him entice you, ma'am. Credit card guy can lead you to big trouble. You need a savings plan.
You're right, Savings Man.
Get this ballpark estimate worksheet at choosetosave.org. It will help you get started.
Gee, thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org and get your ballpark estimate today.
We head to the bottom of the second here at Armstrong High School in Plymouth. Matt Bachmeyer, Jordan Kuznia, Jack Webb, and the 4-5-6 hitters coming up for Armstrong after Robbie Palkert pitched a 1-2-3 first inning for Hopkins. First pitch taken for a strike here by Bachmeyer, who is hitting at .214 for the year. 8 runs batted in. Obviously, for them to have him in the 4 spot, they feel like that average may be a little misleading, that he's a pretty strong hitter. Fastball taken for a ball there, 2-1. High chopper. Throw to first base is in time. Almost lifting his foot early there was Davis over at first base. Nice play here by Schwartz coming in. And watch the end of this here is, boy, I'm not entirely sure he was still on the bag there. But Bachmeyer ruled out. Kuznia will be the hitter. Kuznia, .261 batting average for the Falcons. 1 double, 3 runs batted in. Looks like from the number of at-bats that he's not necessarily in the lineup when he's not pitching. Pops this one up. Schwartz will have another play. This one into foul ground, fighting the wind a little bit, and he stays with it and makes the play. That is out number 2. Jack Wibben will step in for the Falcons. Jack hitting at .277 this year. A couple of doubles, a triple, 8 runs batted in. Fastball spins him around inside, 1-0. Wibben also one of the pitching stalwarts for Armstrong when he's not playing in the outfield. And I don't know this for a fact, but I would guess that had they played Tuesday rather than Wednesday, that he might have been the guy that got the call on the hill. Both he and Kuznia, a lot of experience for this team. Helped them into the state tournament a year ago. Cut and a miss. Palkert, you can see why he's had a lot of colleges interested in him. Got good size, but he throws the ball hard, but he moves the ball well too. Comes back, fastball, and misses. Got a good changeup, and that's something that a lot of guys, even older guys, kind of can struggle to get the feel of that. But so it was a pretty good one. Pounded to third. Every ball coming to the third baseman this inning. Schwartz fires across, and Wibben is out. The Falcons go 1-2-3 in the second. No runs, no hits, and no one left. After 2 full here in the 6-3A tournament, Royals nothing, Falcons nothing.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Behind the wheel, there is no such thing as a small distraction. A public service reminder from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Speak out against distracted driving at decidetodrive.org.
Jordan Kuznia completing his warm-up tosses here as he and Robbie Palkert have matched zeros through 2 innings. Slightly different way of doing it. Palkert set all 6 men down, whereas Kuznia has had the leadoff guy get on against him both times, once on a hit, once on an error, but then worked out of any difficulty both times. It'll be the 9-1 and 2 hitters for Hopkins here in the third. Max Wiesner, and then the top of the order with John Cook and Aaron Jensen. Wiesner, first pitch swinging, and that one bouncing off the body of the second baseman Hopkinson, and Wiesner will be aboard. And that'll be an error to lead off this inning as well, like we saw last time around. So John Cook will hit for Hopkins. They try and maybe make Armstrong pay for a couple of defensive miscues. Last time, leadoff guy got on, and Kuznia made a great diving catch on a popped-up bunt to start a double play. Cook lined a single to right field his first time up, so see if Hopkins, after bunting or attempting to bunt the first 2 times they got a runner on, maybe if that strategy changes at all with Cook up there now, top of the order. Noticing in some of the scores in really the 2 main sections we cover, this section and also section 5, 3A, kind of following the trend of the major leagues where pitching has come back and a lot of low-scoring games. For a while there, it felt like offenses really had the upper hand, and you'll still see some games that are like that, especially when you're not, featuring the top 1 or 2 starting pitchers. But we've had a lot of low-scoring, a lot of some 1-0s and 3-2s and 2-1s kind of games in both sections 5 and 6. Throw back to Kuznia, got away, and just for a split second, Wiesner looked like he might take off for second. Here's Cook hitting one again to right field. This one hanging up, and a catch on the run by Ouellette. If that ball gets over his head, it's going to be trouble, but he makes about a head-high grab on that ball. Not too dissimilar from the first ball that Cook hit, but this time able to get there. So Aaron Jensen will bat now for Hopkins with 1 out and a runner at first. Jensen had to sacrifice his first time up. Foul tips that first pitch. And an awkward swing at another high fastball. So Kuznia works ahead in the count 0-2. And a swing and a miss as Jensen taking a cut at one that looked like it might be out of the zone. So 2 outs, and Tommy Gleason will hit. Another look is a kind of a awkward swing at a pitch up. Yeah, it wasn't terribly high up, but not one he could get to. Here's Gleason stepping in. He struck out his first time through. Foul tip off the mask of Nelson. Umpire making sure Nelson's all right. Boy, those catching masks and helmets have gotten so much better than it used to be, but boy, that can still rattle your cage a little bit. A foul tip coming in. I mean, there's just no chance to react to it when batter's tipping it that close to you. Boy, Kuznia nearly had him picked off. Just stepped back and threw, and Wiesner didn't notice it coming right away and barely gets back. Runner is going this time. Nelson's throw down is not in time. So Armstrong was right to think that Wiesner might be going, and they almost picked him off, and then he steals a bag on the next pitch. I'm going to say, obviously, they can run for their catcher. The fact that they don't probably tells you that he's a decent to above average base runner. And this one is drilled into left field for a hit. Wiesner is going to be held up. And the throw coming in quickly from the outfield from Gilbert. So Gleason, a solid line single to left, but it was almost hit too hard in a way for Hopkins' sake as they end up holding Wiesner at third base. Gilbert coming in to field it. Another look, I thought, well, maybe, but Coach Berger right away held up the stop sign. He got to that ball in pretty good order and wasn't playing all that deep against the left-hand hitter. So Palker will hit with runners at the corners. See if Hopkins will try to steal that trail runner into scoring position or not. Breaking ball and hacked foul near the Armstrong dugout there by Palkert. He flied to center field his first time up. We said he's got a little pop, couple of home runs. Hopkins trying to break through and break this deadlock. Down to short. Reed ranges over. Nice play to get to it and throws to second for the out. Armstrong's had a little bit of a rough start in the field, but they make up for it there. Reed, good job to get him. And the Royals are done in the third. No runs, one base hit. There was one error and a couple left on base. To the bottom of the third we go. We are still at 0-0 here between the Royals and the Falcons.
So I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Good ball game so far here. We're at 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. Robbie Palkert has set 6 down in a row here to start things out. So Armstrong will have the bottom third of their order. Jack McDonough, Ricky Reed, and John Nelson getting set to step in against the big Hopkins right-hander. Well, Armstrong, as I said, they've had a couple of errors in the field, but they've made up for it. First, we had Kuznia, the pitcher, a diving catch on a bunt and started a double play. And then Ricky Reed really saving a run by getting over to his right, making a smooth pickup and flipping to second for the force play to end at top of the third. Pitch taken for a strike here by McDonough, who's hitting at 282. Scored 8 runs, driven in 4. That one over at the knees, a groan or two from the folks on the Armstrong side, so it's 0-2. And foul ball. McDonough saying it hit his hand. The umpire saying it's off the knob of the bat. It certainly sounded like the bat. And certainly if he's gripping the bat and making into a swinging motion, that's probably going to be called a foul ball anyway. But I think it hit the knob of the bat. That one's out of the strike zone, 1-2. Probably still hurt. I believe that part, but comes fastball, knock up the middle, and that one is going to get through. And McDonough will be aboard here to begin the third. Tough opportunity for Brod on that ball straight up the middle. Gonna mark this one down as an error though. Oh, it looks like it took kind of an unusual hop there, but gonna have a runner coming in. Alex Proctor will run for McDonough. So Ricky Reed will be the hitter for Armstrong. Reed has not had a lot of success as a hitter this year. 120 batting average. Certainly think that a bunt could be in the offing here. Squares around, takes a strike. So Armstrong, I think, kind of indicating by running for McDonough, you know, this early in the game, that they view this as obviously an important opportunity, that there's not going to probably be a lot of scoring chances against these two quality pitchers. So getting a little quicker guy in there maybe, and maybe drop a bunt. Reed takes another strike. Boy, that makes it tough now if they still really, if they're wanting to bunt. Now you have no margin for error in terms of fouling one off. Yeah, I guess I'm a big believer in, if you intend to bunt, do it right away. Give yourself as many chances as you can, and it may be just that he, you know, didn't see the pitch he wanted. He's still going to bunt, and it's going to be a great bunt. Throw to first is not in time. Reed beats it out for a bunt single. Well, he got Palkert charging, and he was able to really push that ball between the pitcher and the third baseman, as Schwartz was coming down the line and Palkert was coming straight forward, and he did a good job putting it in between them, and Reed just beat that throw out. Give a little credit over there at first base, though, too, to Kyle Davis for digging that one out, or otherwise the Armstrong guys would have probably been able to move up at least one base there. So now runners at first and second for Armstrong. John Nelson will be the hitter, and certainly wouldn't be shocked to see a bunt coming here again. Squares around but takes it up high for a ball. And high and inside for ball two. Nelson sitting 161 on the season. Getting on would be nice, but I think just getting those runners over would be job one here if possible, if he gets a pitch that he can bunt. And ball three. So Palkert, I think, initially really trying to, you know, throw a pitch that was going to be hard to bunt, but not throwing him in the strike zone. So he's now facing a little trouble here, the number 9 hitter, falling behind 3-0. And that's high for ball 4. So after Armstrong didn't do much the first 2 innings, they now load him up with nobody out for Corey Gilbert. Bad bounce error, then a bunt single, then a walk. So it isn't like they've jumped all over him or anything. We're going to see a new runner coming on here. Jay Norgard will be the runner for the Falcons for Nelson at first. Defensive conference and an offensive meeting as well here. I think both teams kind of sensing how important these, you know, one run could be in this game. The one thing it does do for Hopkins, obviously, is that you got to force at any base now, and you can come home with the ball to try and get the lead out, or you could turn 2. Royals playing in at the corners, more medium depth up the middle. Gilbert lined to center field his first time up and takes ball 1 in the dirt, as all of a sudden Palkert having a little trouble with his command. lifting this one out to short center field. Doubt it'll be deep enough to tag on. And he is coming to the plate, and he's going to score. Well, I was wrong on that. Now they've got a runner hung up between second and third. And it's a little bit of an errant throw, and they're not going to get anybody. So Armstrong on the board as Proctor tags up on a ball that was really not hit all that deep. But again, Armstrong feeling, hey, we're maybe not going to get that many chances. The ball beats him there, but not held onto by Wiesner. And then kind of compounded by not being able to get an out on the next two runners. So now runners at second and third. One out, one run in for Armstrong. Troy Ouellette is the batter. Ouellette hit a tapper off the plate his first time up. 0 for 1. Cut and a miss. Hopkins has the infield pulled in here. They do not want to concede another run. So makes it a little tougher on if you're the runner at third, but it makes it a little better for the hitter if you've got more opportunity to knock one through there. Tapper foul pass first. Ouellette's got that classic helmet that looks like it's got about 30 years of pine tar on it. Wonder if that's like an original helmet from when Armstrong opened. No, not quite, but looks like it could be. 0-2 pitch from Palkert is outside. Reed at third base, Norgard at second. Armstrong has gotten on the board with one run and trying to add to it here. And another tapper foul pass first on the breaking ball. And again, pounding one fouls. He came inside on him, and Ouellette fighting it off. He's kind of in contact mode right now. You know, anything that's close, he's going to see if he can't put it in play or at least fight it off. Laid off that one up high. They check with the base umpire, no swing. 2-2. Good mix of pitches there by Palkert. That one surprising him up high like that, I think. And now this one way up out of the zone, so 3-2. Thorpe on deck for Armstrong. They want to try and break this open a little bit. They've gotten one run. Ouellette just fighting that one off. He started pretty late on his swing and just looking to make contact. Three-two pitch. Grounder to second. Runner is coming home. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Reed getting a good break, and he stayed low and is able to beat the tag, and it's 2-0 Armstrong as they score 2 runs on balls that you might have thought were going to struggle to get a run home on. Oh, nice job getting that left hand in. He was definitely safe. So Ouellette aboard on a fielder's choice. Give him a run batted in. Runners at the corners now. 2-0 lead for Armstrong, and Thorpe will be the hitter. See if they'll get anything started on the bases here. Not on the first pitch anyway. Thorpe takes a ball up high. He struck out his first time up. So Armstrong kind of playing small ball this inning. They get on an error. They get a bunt single, a walk, sacrifice fly, grounder to a drawn-in infield and score anyway. Runner from first is going. Here's the throw down. Now the throw will come to the plate, and it is airmailed almost over the backstop. The run scores, and Ouellette gets up and goes to third. So make it a 3-0 game, and we've got an injured Royal out there as they made that throw. Another look as he'll throwing to second, and then watch as he makes this throw, stumbling a little bit, and the ball ended up being way up and over the plate. Looks like working on the knee maybe of Gleason there. See if we can tell what happens here. I don't think it was contact with the runner. I think it's just as he steps. And if that leg locked up a little bit on him. It didn't really appear that he lost his footing. You know, obviously we talked about how much rain there's been and everything, and you wondered if it had something to do with that. It didn't necessarily seem like that, but hard to tell. So it looks like everything is all right there. Gonna leave Gleason in the ball game and get back to action here. So 3-0 Armstrong lead, and Thorpe hitting with now runner at third base. Ouellette as he stole second and then advanced on that error. Knocking it left side, knocked down, but there'll be no play. It's 4-0, an infield hit for Josh Thorpe. Ouellette in the score. Good effort by Schwartz getting to that ball, but just no chance to make a play, and it's a base hit. Diving stop, tried to grab it bare hand. Even at that point, I don't know that he's going to be able to get him. And you see Ouellette scoring the 4th run of the inning. Matt Bachmeyer, the hitter, foul tip on the first pitch. He bounced to third his first time up, 0 for 1. Changeup lifted out to short left center, and that one's going to drop in, and then it is kicked, literally. Thorpe heading for third. The throw is wide. And all the way over to second goes Bachmeyer. So a bloop single for Bachmeyer. And then moves up on an errant throw. So third error committed this inning by Hopkins. They have knocked it around a little bit. See a ball off a shin, but then this throw, really, if they take their time and make a good throw here, I think they've got a reasonably good chance to get Thorpe, but obviously was not a good throw. So Kuznia will hit with runners at second and third. 4 runs already in, looking to keep the fun going if you're Armstrong. Wiesner, a nice stop on a pitch low. Kuznia fouled out to the third baseman Schwartz his first time up. Lifting this one high out to center field. Catch made. Tagging and scoring on the play is Thorpe. Sacrifice fly for Kuznia. And it's 5-0 Falcons. They get their second sac fly of the inning. This one was hit much farther and more an obvious run scoring fly ball. The first one I thought was kind of a gamble that they ended up making and winning. So Wibben will be the hitter. Wibben fouling went out of play down the right field line. Boy, what an inning it has been here for Armstrong. A little bit of everything. I mean, not necessarily a lot of really well hit balls or anything, but they've had gutsy base running and good base running. Pounded to third. Schwartz up with it. Throw across in time. Inning's over, but it was a big one for the Falcons. They come up with 5 runs in the inning on 3 base hits. Hopkins with 3 costly errors and a couple left on board. It is 5-0 Armstrong after 3 innings here on 12 Sports.
Savings Man here with a young spenders named Tommy and Sue. Their parents let them buy whatever they chose, like video games and designer clothes. As they grew older, they spent all their pay on fancy cars, houses, 2 lattes a day. They lived in the moment, never saving a dime. When they tried to retire, they'd run out of time. Working forever is Tom and Sue's fate, so choose to save now before it's too late. Visit our website to find out more, cause a happy ending's worth saving for.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Well, this game turning in a hurry in Armstrong's half of the third as they put 5 runs on the board after a scoreless first few innings in this one. And now Hopkins will try and answer back here in the top of the fourth against Jordan Kuznia. They'll have Schwartz, Brott, and Davis, the 5, 6, 7 hitters scheduled to come to the plate here for the Royals. Schwartz reached on an error his first time up. Hopkins probably has to feel a little bit shell-shocked the way that inning went. To just Armstrong aggressive on the bases, and let's face it, you got to have a little speed. It isn't just, you know, taking those gambles. You have to be able to have the wheels to get it done, and they did really. I thought scoring on 2 balls that maybe some other teams either wouldn't have tried even or wouldn't have made it on. That short fly ball to center, and then a grounder to a drawn-in second base. Schwartz fouling that one back. Hopkins didn't execute very well on the throw from center on that first sacrifice fly, but on the ball to second, there was nothing wrong with the way they handled it. They just couldn't get it there in time. 2-2 count here to Schwartz. Fastball missing high and away. Kuznia hasn't been flawless here today, but they've made a couple of key defensive plays when they've needed them. There's ball 4. So 4th inning in a row that Hopkins has had the leadoff batter aboard, and you have to wonder if that eventually will catch up to Kuznia. So far it hasn't, though. Henry Brott will bat now for Hopkins. Bunted into a double play on a great diving catch by the pitcher Kuznia, his first time up. Obviously down now by 5. The situation in terms of bunting anymore is probably altered greatly for Hopkins here. Fouls that high fastball out of play. Kuznia delivers. Sharp breaking ball. Nelson, a nice block on that one. Winner of this one plays either Southwest or Wayzata. They're playing same time as this ball game. And there's a breaking ball beauty, and Brott takes a called 3rd strike. Out number 1. 3rd strikeout of the game for Kuznia. And Davis will be the hitter. This, I don't think, was the pitch he was expecting. Look at that sharp break. Davis walked his first time up. Nelson, another nice stop there. Comes back with a fastball knocked up the middle, and that one is going to be off the glove there of Hopkins, so Davis will be aboard. Got it back past the pitcher, and again, not an easy ball, but I have to go with an error on that one. So first and second, one out. Nathan Nelson, the hitter for Hopkins. And that one's a liner back up the middle. Reed stops it, gets you out at second, throw to first for the double play. Again, they bail themselves out with a great defensive play after making an error. Fantastic stop by Reed. And then he's able to make the flip. And they get the turn. So again, they commit an error but get out of it with a double play. For Hopkins in the fourth, no runs, no hits. There was one error and one left aboard. To the bottom of the fourth we go. 5-0 Falcons.
What are you doing, dear?
My finances. Every week I divide my allowance. Some to spend, some to charity. But the first thing I do is set aside 10% to save for my future.
That's awfully grown up. Did you learn that in school?
No, Dad taught me. He said if you want something tomorrow, you have to save today. Dad's saving for retirement. I'm saving for a new bike.
Choose to save. To learn how to get started, get your free Power to Choose brochure.
He's a smart man, your father.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Armstrong leading 5-0, and they'll have the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up in the fourth, and that's the group that got things started last inning against Palkert. McDonough re-entered, of course, after being run for. He reached on an error to start that third inning, and then things went well from there for Armstrong. Foul ball down the left field line and drifting over and making the catch. The wind kept pushing that one as Nelson was tracking it. So one gone here in the fourth, and Reed will be the hitter. Reed, a fantastic defensive play just a moment ago to start a double play and get them out of the top of the fourth. Takes ball one. Reed reached on a bunt single in the third. And then he was the one who had the wheels to come in and score on that grounder to second with the drawn-in infield. Got in there anyway. This one will get out of play. Boy, Armstrong, it's been amazing how they have not played a great game in the field. They've made 3 errors, but every time they've made a nice play to pick, to back it up and get out of trouble. One-two pitch to Reed, and fastball, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Palkert, who I think was probably a little ticked off after that last inning. Boy, that's a nasty pitch. Tough one to do anything with, even if you make contact. Nelson, the hitter. Looks at a fastball over for a strike. And same spot, strike two. And a rip and a miss, and Palkert getting fired up as he fans the last 2 hitters. No runs, no hits, no one left for Armstrong in the fourth. We head to inning number 5 here in the Section 6 tournament. It is 5-0 Armstrong.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
「
Well,
These are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
We head to inning number 5. Jordan Kuznia completing his warm-up tosses here for Armstrong. He's gotten some key help defensively at good times here after to get out of some innings. The last 2 innings, in fact, his shortstop Reed made very nice plays in the 3rd to get a force play at second ended, and then in the 4th inning started a double play on after a diving stop. And Kuznia helped himself out with a diving catch on a bunt earlier too to start a double play. So he hasn't, he's pitched very well. He hasn't overwhelmed them at all times, but they have just made clutch plays when they've needed to, both offensively and defensively. Here's Wiesner, who reached on an error his first time up, 0 for 1. Got as far as third base. Hopkins certainly still has time. They saw how quickly Armstrong could go from 0 runs to 5, so you can't get discouraged at this point, but they need to capitalize when they're able to get some runners on. Lifted foul and out of play. Talked about how this tournament was pushed back a day this week because of the rain, so that, the good news was you got a little more rest for today, but then the bad news, I guess, is that they're coming right back again on Thursday to play next round, which will hurt even more for the teams that are already in the losers bracket. Cooper and Orono playing, and Edina and Richfield playing. They're going to have to play 3 days in a row, so you're going to be stretching farther into your pitching staff at that rate than the teams up, at the top that are staying in the winning bracket. 3-2 pitch from Kuznia, back up the middle. Reed able to get to it and makes the play. Nice job. Looked like Kuznia might have just got the tip of his glove on that ball. Didn't really change the trajectory of the ball or anything. And Reed did a good job. When you're moving and that ball stays that low, that's not that easy of a play. He didn't really have time to get squared up and set in front of it. Had to shuffle and then make the play with the hand. So nice job by Reed. And now John Cook will hit. Cook pounding it to third. Bachmeyer stays down on that one and fires across. And 2 gone here in the 5th. Did a nice job of getting to this ball right at the edge of the grass, so we didn't have to worry about any change in surface there onto the dirt. And Aaron Jensen will bat now for the Royals. First inning that Kuznia has gotten a leadoff man out. This one lifted foul and out of play. Although in fairness to Jordan, 2 out of those 4 times was guys who reached on errors, so not necessarily poor pitches. Little tapper, and that one is going to be fouled on the third baseline. Jensen had a sacrifice bunt his first time up and then struck out last time, so 0 for 1. Way up high with that fastball. Nelson, the catcher, was standing fully by the time that ball got there. He wanted it up high, I think, but probably not that high. And a little tap foul. One-two pitch on one hop. Hokinson fires to first. 1-2-3 fifth for Kuznia and the Falcons. Hopkins, no runs, no hits, and no one left. We'll go to the bottom of 5. It's 5-0 Armstrong.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Warm spring afternoon here at Armstrong. The Falcons leading Hopkins 5-0 here in the winner's bracket of the Section 6 3A baseball tournament. Here's Corey Gilbert stepping in to lead it off, and he offered at that one for strike one as he tried to drag one. Gilbert line to center his first time up, and then did a sacrifice fly to center in the third on that ball that wasn't hit all that deep, but they scored a run anyway on it. Wiesner wanted that one. They don't get it. Two 2-1 count here to Gilbert. And back up the middle. That one is going to get through for a base hit. Gilbert, a leadoff single here to start the fifth. And Armstrong looking to add more to its 5-run lead.
The right fielder, number 6, Troy Olette.
He's still a little hobbled as Gleason, the second baseman. Not that he would have been able to get to that one anyway, but here's Olette stepping in. Takes a strike as he squares to bunt. Gilbert scampering back to first. Throw to first, Gilbert back. Squaring and takes a ball here. Olette grounded one to second last time up with the bases loaded. They came home, or check that with that second and third. They came home and did not get the lead runner. Got a good break, and so Olette reached on a fielder's choice, got an RBI out of it, and came around to score. And takes that one inside. Olette doing a quality job of judging the strike zone here. You know, even if you're going to bunt, make sure it's a strike. Runner is going, and Olette fouls it away. So a little hit and run on that time. Gilbert taking off, but 2-2 count now to Olette. Gilbert going again, swing and a miss. Here's the throw down to second, and not in time. Gilbert just getting in. Not sure if the ball was bobbled perhaps. Olette strikes out, but they do get the runner down to second. Got that foot in, actually not bobbled. A nice play by the shortstop there, Brandt, to hang on to that ball, but just got the foot in. And now there's going to be a little conference on the mound here for Hopkins, or maybe we're going to have a little bit of a protest on that call. Coach Berger coming out to say, did we or did we not get the tag? It's very close. He does a nice job of maintaining the ball here. As you see, the foot comes right in the middle of him. I think he's got that lead foot in, though. You know, nice job by really on the throw and especially on the catch. Put it right into the tag, but I would have to concur on the call that Gilbert got that lead foot onto the bag first. So here's Thorpe, who had an RBI single last time up. Pops this one back foul and out of play. So Armstrong not getting a bunt down, but they do steal the base anyway, so get kind of what they were looking for one way or the other anyway there. One runner into scoring position with one out. They know that adding one more run would be big, and anytime you can tack on another one or two, because you never know what Hopkins is going to do these last couple at bats. Just slow with that one. Palkert stopping, needing to tie his shoe here. Comes sidearm a little bit there, and Thorpe fouling at the plate. And got him to chase that one. And tag applied by Wiesner, so 2 strikeouts in a row. As Palkert, it almost seemed like I said earlier, like he kind of ticked him off a little bit that 5-run inning, and he's come back now and he's struck out 4 of the last 5 hitters. Matt Bachmeyer, the batter now for Armstrong. In off the hand, Schwartz is going to have to hurry, and he does make a nice play to get Bachmeyer. So the Falcons in the 5th inning, no runs, 1 hit. No errors in, 1 left on. We have completed 5 full here in the winner's bracket of Section 6. Armstrong leading Hopkins 5-0 on 12 Sports.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Oh dear, I can't afford that.
Charge it. You can pay it off later.
Not so fast, credit card guy.
Savings Man.
Don't let him entice you, ma'am. Credit card guy can lead you to big trouble. You need a savings plan.
You're right, Savings Man.
Get this ballpark estimate worksheet at choosetosave.org. It will help you get started.
Gee, thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org and get your ballpark estimate today.
Jordan Kuznia working with a 5-0 lead here for Armstrong as we head to the top half of inning number 6. Hopkins will have the heart of their order coming up, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Gleason, Palkert, and Schwartz, the scheduled batters for Hopkins. Kuznia worked a 1-2-3 fifth, although as I said earlier, he hasn't necessarily had all smooth sailing today. That was the only 1-2-3 inning he's had. They haven't really, slugged him around much, but there have been some errors and a few walks mixed in, and it hasn't, been a dominating performance, but a very good one. First pitch taken up high for a ball there by Gleason. That's a fastball to knees for a strike. 1-1. Gleason a strikeout and a single, 1 out of 2. To third on 1 hop. Bachmeyer up with it, throws across, and 1 gone here in the 6th. And the pitcher, Palkert, will step up.
The pitcher number 17, Robbie Palkert.
Palkert flied to center and then bounced into a force play on a nice play by the shortstop Reed and the 3rd, so 0 for 2. Gets him moving his feet there on that pitch, low and in, 1-0. Foul tip, ball and a strike here to Palkert. Again, the tournament continues on Thursday And then they'll, if you stay in the winner's bracket, you jump ahead to next week. If you fall into the loser's bracket, there'll be games on Friday as well. Hard hit ball, and that one's going to get into left field for a hit. Score that as a single for Palkert. Reed reaching for it, not quite able to get there. And Schwartz will be the hitter. Going to have a runner at first for Hopkins. Andy Ani will be a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Palkert.
Pinch running for Palkert is number 23, Andrew Oni.
So Schwartz will step in here for Hopkins.
Third baseman Alex Schwartz.
Fouling that one straight back. Schwartz reached on an error and walked. Just missed with that one. 1-1. Popped up and it'll get out of play. And another one fouled away down the right field side there by Schwartz. Almost got him to go after that one, but not quite. And a cut and a miss at a fastball, 2 outs. And Schwartz goes down on strikes. And Brott will be the hitter. He's been coming with that curveball and then comes back fastball. Had a cut but didn't get it. So Brott will be the hitter. Bunted into a double play and struck out. High tapper up the middle. Reed will go to first with it, and they get the out. And the 6th inning comes to a close for Hopkins. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of 6 here at Armstrong High School. The Falcons 5, Hopkins Royals nothing.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Behind the wheel, there is no such thing as a small distraction. A public service reminder from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Speak out against distracted driving at decidetodrive.org.
We head to the bottom of the 6th. Jordan Kuznia will step in to lead things off for Armstrong against Hopkins righty Robbie Palkert, who, you know, he's given up 5 runs. They were all in the same inning. Kind of an unusual inning. I mean, I think for the most part he's pitched pretty well, but Armstrong taking advantage of some good base running, some good speed. There's an error mixed in, a couple, 2-3 errors actually for Hopkins. So just a real an inning where Armstrong took advantage of some chances, created some things on the bases. You give them a lot of credit, but at the same time, if you're Palkert, you don't, you know, it wasn't like he was all of a sudden getting line drives everywhere either, but still 5 runs is 5 runs. Kuznia fouling it away down the first base side. He fouled out to the third baseman his first time up and then hit a sacrifice fly to center field in that big 5-run third. So 0 for 1 officially. Rip and a miss, and down he goes, and Palkert continues that strong string of strikeouts. He has now fanned 5 of the last 7 hitters. Comes back fastball and throws it by him. And as a good pitcher himself, Kuznia, although he's disappointed he struck out, he can probably appreciate the way that Palkert worked him there. Here's Wibben taking a strike. Wibben's hit the ball to the third baseman both times up, 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. And chased a curveball in the dirt. 0-2. Comes back, curveball. Wibben just gets a piece of that. Another 0-2 here from Palkert. Ooh, when he comes high and in with that one, 1-2. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one missing low and in here to the Falcons center fielder. Jack McDonough waiting on deck here for Armstrong. High chopper up the middle. Brott's throw is low and it'll get away. And safely aboard is Jack Wibben on an error by the shortstop. Seemed to be a fairly routine ball, but Brott short arms this one a little bit. It's in the dirt and Davis unable to pluck it out. So runner at first, 1 out. Jack McDonough will hit for Armstrong. It's been kind of that kind of game. A little bit of a mix of good plays with bad in the field for both teams, really. And that one was really the first, pure throwing error. I think some of the others have been not fielded cleanly, but he got to that ball in plenty of time, but just bad throw. Delayed steal, and in time the throw as Wibben taking off. A little delayed there, a little late. I don't know if that was intentional but Wiesner didn't panic, and they get the throw down and slap the tag on. So 2 outs. Outside here to McDonough. So 3-0 count here. Now 3-1. Strike 2. Comes fastball, challenges him, and McDonough fighting it off, so stays at 3-2 here. And fights off another one. McDonough stepping back in after Palkert finishes releasing there, so another 3-2 pitch. And another fastball fouled out of play. And fights it out for a walk. McDonough laid off that one low and in, so draws a 2-out walk, and Ricky Reed may not be the hitter. Looks like we might be seeing a pinch hitter sent to the plate here for Armstrong. Jarek Kuznia will bat, Jordan's brother.
Number 7, Jarek Kuznia.
Jarek Kuznia hitting at 286. He's had just 14 at bats. 1 homer, 3 runs batted in, so get him an at bat here with a runner at first and 2 gone here in the 6th. Falkert comes high and tight with that first one, 1-0. Fastball over, and it's 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike here to Kuznia. That one's at the knees, 2-2. Palker trying to get out of it and give his team one more chance with the bats. Kuznia, a little soft liner, and that one is going to fall in for a hit in center field. Didn't crush it, but he gets enough of it to drop it over the infielders and into short center. So first and second now with 2 outs for the Falcons. Not as easy to tell with the bats as with the wood bat how good you hit it, but it didn't sound that good even off the end of the bat maybe. We're going to see another pinch hitter, looks like, here for Armstrong as Taylor Bluston will bat, it appears, for Nelson. Well, he hasn't had it's kind of a small sample size, but Bluston's done pretty well when he's been sent up there. 3 for 5. He's hitting .600. Couple of runs batted in. They're going to stick with Palkert.
Pinch hitter for the Falcons, number 16, Taylor Bluston.
So the pinch hitter worked out well for Armstrong. And the last one is Kuznia single to center, and now Bluston will step in to bat. Starts him with a strike. And a rip and a miss as he helped him out there on a pitch low and in, so 0-2. And a swing and a miss, and Palkert strikes Bluston out to end the 6th inning. For Armstrong, no runs. There was 1 hit, 1 Hopkins error, and a couple left on board. We have played 6 full. It is Armstrong 5 and Hopkins nothing.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Behind the wheel, there is no such thing as a small distraction. A public service reminder from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Speak out against distracted driving at decidetodrive.org.
Welcome back here to Armstrong. Jordan Kuznia trying to finish off a win here for Armstrong. It's a 5-0 game, but Hopkins not out of this one yet. They'll have the bottom third of the order coming up. Kyle Davis will lead it off. Nelson and Wiesner, the scheduled hitters to follow him, although that could change, obviously. Davis has been on twice. He walked and reached on an error. And a little tapper. Kuznia will come up with it. Fires to first, and one gone quickly here in the top of the 7th. And Nelson will be the hitter for Hopkins. You see just knocking that one off the dirt in front of the plate, and Kuznia does a nice job getting there. Breaking ball got away from him there, 1-0. Nelson fly to center and bounced into a double play on a nice turn by Armstrong on a tough ball up the middle. Nelson hits this one well out to center field. Wibben giving chase, not going to get there, and it's out to the fence. And Nelson will trot into second with a 1-out double. Best hit ball of the game really for Hopkins, I think, right there, as Nelson jumped on that one from Kuznia. Wibben giving chase but could not get there. Doesn't quite make it to the fence. Might have exaggerated that a little bit there, but easily into second. So Wiesner will hit now for Hopkins, and again, you don't run out of time in baseball, you only run out of outs, so they've still got a chance to put some things together here. Lifted back out of play down the first base side. Wiesner reached on an error and then bounced to short. He is 0 for 2 officially. Breaking ball gets away from Kuznia. One offering, and up high for a ball. And driven out to right field. A little bit of a slip initially, but catch still made with no problem there by Ouellette. Again, obviously it's been wet, and Ouellette looked like his foot gave way just a little bit, but 2 outs. And John Cook, the last hope here for Hopkins. Starts him with a strike. Cook's had a single, a liner to right, and they bounce to third. So 1 for 3 today. And again, Kuznia, he's had that half dozen times or so where it's gotten away from him way up and out of the zone on that, trying to throw that breaking ball. And Cook lining one out to center. That is going to be in for a hit. Hopkins will have its first run of the ball game. We've been a little trouble with it, but they'll keep the runner at first. So Hopkins is on the board as Nelson comes around to score. They break up the shutout with 2 outs in the 7th on a solid line single to center by Cook.
Right fielder number 21, Aaron Jensen.
Dropping that one in. No hesitation there for Nelson. Scores easily. Obviously, Armstrong is more worried about keeping that hitter at first at that point anyway, even though Wibben bobbled it, they did not advance him, so Jensen will be the hitter. Fastball over for a strike. Jensen 0 for 2 along with a sacrifice. And 0-2. Kuznia trying to not let it bother him that the shutout went away and trying to finish one off here. Fastball up high and out of the zone. And breaking ball misses 2-2. Pops it back out, foul and out of play. And sliced down the first base line, but foul. Still 2-2 to Aaron Jensen, the Hopkins right fielder. Runner at first, 2 outs. 7th inning. Hopkins trailing 5-1. They just got on the board, but down to perhaps their final strike. And lifted to right field. Ouellette coming on. He will make the catch, and Armstrong stays unbeaten here in the Section 6 tournament with a 5-1 win over Hopkins. For the Royals in the 7th, 1 run on 2 base hits. No errors, they leave 1, but it's not enough as that 5-run 3rd inning carries Armstrong to the victory here. The Falcons will meet either Wayzata or Southwest on Thursday. We'll be back to wrap things up here in just a moment. Your final again is Armstrong 5 and Hopkins 1.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back here to Armstrong. The Falcons stay in the winner's bracket here in Section 6 with a nice 5-1 win over Hopkins. We're joined by a couple of their guys that helped to get it done, starting with Ricky Reed. And, boy, this was a game where you guys really took advantage of some opportunities. All the scoring coming in that 1 inning. You know, your base running, I think, today was probably the biggest key to this one, along with Jordan's pitching. Talk about that inning and how you guys scratched out some runs against a good pitcher.
We pride ourselves on being a scrappy team, and we don't have any bombers really, so we got to scrap runs and do what we can to get every base and make them make mistakes, and I think we did a good job of that, and just taking every base we can and putting the pressure on their defense to have them make the mistakes, and then we take advantage of that every chance we can get. So
I think sometimes people overlook the things like getting a good jump and getting that extra secondary lead, and do you guys kind of take pride in that? Is that part of the success of this team?
Yeah, we always practice that all throughout the years. We try to be good base runners, and we have a freshman on the team just because he's a good base runner, so we really like to have those little things because I think that's what wins games, and it helped us a lot today, so yeah.
A lot of the guys on this team went through this last year and got through and won a section. How much do you think that helps to just kind of have that confidence and be calm out there in a section game like this?
Oh, it's huge because it feels just almost like another game to us because we've been through it, most of us at least, so it really helps. So there's no extra pressure, it's just another game, so we go and have fun and win. So
all right, congratulations on the win. Good luck next round here. And Jordan Kuznia coming up with another strong pitching performance after winning that first game against Richfield. How'd you feel out there today, Jordan?
Oh, I felt great. My off-speed pitches weren't working as well as I would have hoped them to, but got the job done and it felt great.
I was saying during the game that overall it wasn't exactly a flawless game in the field for your team, but when you needed outs, when you needed a big double play, you guys came through with some big ones. Were you happy to see that, the way they kind of bounced back after some misplays out there?
Oh, yeah, I was definitely happy with that. If someone makes errors, someone else has got to pick them up, and we did that today, and it's great to see that.
Their pitcher is a guy that a lot of people know about. He's going to Nebraska. Did that kind of pump you up extra a little bit, too, to go against him today?
I mean, I know him. I was prepared for him to be throwing gas and have a pitcher's duel. That 1 inning really helped us. Yeah.
Well, heading into the rest of the tournament here, what has to happen for you guys? What's got to be the key for the Falcons to try and win this section again?
We have to keep having strong defense and picking each other up and get the bats going. Score a couple runs. That's all you got to do.
All right, congratulations, Jordan. Fun watching you out here today.
Thank you.
All right, Jordan Kuznia, Ricky Reed, and the Armstrong Falcons winning it over Hopkins today 5-1. Again, they stay into the winner's bracket, and they'll be taking on either Wayzata or Southwest. Hope you've enjoyed the game here today on a beautiful afternoon from Armstrong. For all of our 12 Sports crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. So long from Armstrong High School.